Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He is the 32nd President of the United States of America, the longest-serving president in history. He was born on the 30th of January, 1882, in New York. He studied at Harvard University. Elected president in 1933, Roosevelt was a great leader during the World War II, when the country's economic problems and Nazi Germany were growing stronger. The economic depression of 1929, one of the most important crises in world and American history, continued until 1939. President Roosevelt successfully passed the test of this economic crisis and World War II and became a successful leader who was able to lead the United States of America out of the war with a stronger economy. Roosevelt, who served 4 terms as president, was a leader loved by the American people. Roosevelt died in office in 1945. Winston Churchill, born on the 30th of November 1874 into an aristocratic family in England. His father, Lord Randolph Churchill, was a well-known politician, and Winston was educated in prestigious schools. His achievement at school was average, and his interest in studies was limited. He therefore decided to pursue a military career. After graduating from the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst, he joined the British Army. During his military career, he served in Cuba, India, and Sudan, and gained fame as a war correspondent in the Boer War. He then entered politics, and in 1908, he was appointed Minister of Marine. During World War I, Churchill planned the Gallipoli campaign. The operation was unsuccessful, and this led to harsh criticism of Churchill. During World War II, Churchill served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and offered fierce resistance to the rapid advance of Nazi Germany. Thanks to his effective communication with the Allies, he played a major role in Britain's victory in the war. Churchill was also a talented writer and won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953. His phrase, "We shall never surrender," became a symbol of Britain's resistance to Nazi occupation. Fidel Castro. He led the Cuban Revolution in 1959 and subsequently served as Cuba's prime minister and president for many years. He was born in 1926 in Beirut, Cuba. He studied law at the University of Havana. At the time, Cuba was ruled by the dictator Fulgencio Batista. Castro initially wanted to fight peacefully, but this was not enough, and he began an armed struggle. In 1959, Castro overthrew the Batista regime and established a communist government. After the revolution, Castro built a socialist economy, carried out land reforms, established a system of free healthcare and free education, and quickly cut ties with the United States. During this period, there were very tense periods between the USA and Cuba, and although there was a verge of nuclear war, no war broke out. Today, education, housing, health services, food aid, cultural and sporting events, electricity and water, medical training are still provided free of charge in Cuba. Fidel Castro served as the leader of Cuba for 49 years and left his post in 2008 due to health problems. He died on the 25th of November, 2016. Mahatma Gandhi. With his principles of passive resistance and civil disobedience, he pioneered the liberation of India from British colonial rule. Gandhi was born on the 2nd of October, 1869 in Porbandar. He was the child of a rich family. His parents wanted him to become a lawyer and sent him to London, but law was not a suitable profession for Gandhi. In 1893, Gandhi traveled to South Africa for work and witnessed the discrimination faced by the Indian community there. It was during this period that he developed his strategy of passive resistance and civil disobedience, which he called satyagraha. Gandhi wanted to show the world that problems could be solved through peace and non-violence. But how was he going to do this? In 1930, the British had passed laws to monopolize the production and sale of salt. Gandhi called on the people of India to disobey this salt law and walk 240 miles to the sea to mine salt. With the participation of millions of people, this law was rendered virtually unenforceable. Gandhi's greatest achievement was to gain the support of the people. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the most important leaders of India's independence movement and left the following promise to the world: "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." Nelson Mandela. He is the first black president of South Africa. Nelson Mandela was born on the 18th of July, 1918 in the village of Mvezo in Africa, the son of a tribal chief. Mandela received his legal education in Johannesburg with the support of his family. During his years as a lawyer, he actively fought against the apartheid regime. Although he initially showed peaceful resistance with his community, he thought that this would not be enough and founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, Spear of the Nation, an armed resistance group against the regime. However, although his struggle did not yield any official results, he was recognized as a hero by his people and was arrested in 1962. Although he was sentenced to life imprisonment, the group he founded continued its actions and continued its struggle for Mandela's release. After 27 years in prison, he was released in 1990. Nelson Mandela became a worldwide symbol of freedom, and in 1994, with the end of apartheid, he became the first black president of South Africa. He said these words, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Mustafa Kemal Ataturk was the founder and first president of the Republic of Turkey. He was born in 1881 in Thessaloniki. He was educated in military schools and served as an officer in the Ottoman Empire. When the Ottoman Empire, which was defeated as a result of the First World War, was under occupation, Ataturk fought a great struggle by starting a war for liberation and freedom in Anatolia. Thanks to his sharp intellect and brilliant war strategy, Mustafa Kemal organized the people, drove his enemies out of the Anatolian lands, and gifted freedom to the Turkish people. In 1923, he founded the Republic of Turkey and built a modern secular state structure. He made Turkey a modern country by making revolutions in many fields such as education, law, economy, and women's rights. He was the first Turkish leader to grant women the right to vote and be elected. In addition to being a far-sighted war leader, he wrote books on mathematics and geometry. He was a leader who was fluent in French, English, and German. He adopted a peaceful foreign policy with the motto, "Peace at home, peace in the world." Vladimir Lenin. He is one of the important revolutionaries of modern Russian history and the founder of the Soviet Union. Born on the 22nd of April, 1870 in Simbirsk, Russia, he was the child of an aristocratic family. His father was an education inspector and his mother was a teacher. Lenin's brother, Alexander Ulyanov, had been executed for a failed assassination attempt against Tsar Alexander II. This event led Lenin to follow a revolutionary path. Lenin studied law and joined a socialist group. He was arrested for his revolutionary activities and sent into exile in Siberia. In exile, he learned Marxist theory and told people how the working class could overthrow the Tsarist regime in his book, What to Do. In 1917, when the Tsarist regime in Russia was about to collapse, he returned to Russia from exile with the support of Germany. And with the October Revolution, the Bolsheviks overthrew the provisional government and became the first communist state leader of Russia. Under Lenin's leadership, the Bolsheviks won the support of the people with the slogans, "Peace, bread, freedom." With land reforms, they distributed land to peasants and handed over factories to workers' councils. Lenin suffered a stroke in 1922 and died in 1924 with the words, "The state must exist for the welfare of the people." The Soviet Union was founded in 1922 and dissolved in 1991. The states of the Soviet Union were formed by the union of 15 states: Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Moldova, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan,